Joining us now from Phoenix, Arizona is Mr. Mike Harris, editor at Veterans Today. Hello, Mr. Harris. Always a pleasure to have you on and get your input on things. Your thoughts on Sayyid Hassan Nasralla's comments with respect to developments in Afghanistan?
Well, let's remember something first, that the U.S. involvement in Afghanistan was based on a lie, the lie of 9/11, that Afghanistan was involved in that, and Afghanistan had nothing to do with it. And the situation in Afghanistan lies firmly at the feet of both George W. Bush and Joseph Biden, because both of them, getting us in and getting us out, have been miserable failures. So the U.S. foreign policy towards Afghanistan and the Middle East has been woefully misguided ever since 9/11. And so, you know, I can't emphasize this enough and to the people of the world that everything we have been told about the situation in Afghanistan has been a lie. So I have to look at, why would they tell us the truth now? Why would the U.S. government tell us the truth about what's going on? So they're trying to hedge their bets. They're trying to find a way out. There is no graceful way out of this. This has been an unmitigated disaster from day one, and the U.S. is culpable here. The U.S. has made foreign policy blunders based on this entire set of lies that goes all the way back to 9/11. It's over 20 years now. And the U.S. government is run by gangsters and criminals.
And Mr. Harris, this the Afghanistan project now, when the U.S. and NATO look back on it, how does it impact the decisions they make with respect to invasion and occupation of a country like Afghanistan?
Well, as I said, Afghanistan and Iraq were both based on the lie of 9/11. I cannot emphasize that enough. And so let's look at what the pattern that the U.S. has with withdrawing from Iraq, for instance. They left behind caches of weapons, you know, copious amounts. General David Petraeus depoted them, so they were easy there to access. Then Daesh came in and liberated them and used them to form ISIS, and gave ISIS the infrastructure and the backbone to wage the war against the Syrian Arab army in Syria. I expect that they're doing something similar here with Afghanistan, where they're going to leave behind weapons, leave behind resources in order to create some comes in and is the new ISIS for Afghanistan. Don't forget that the U.S. and the CIA do not want to give up the $3 trillion a year opium business. The Taliban has said that they are moral men. They're going to end the opium trade. They want to create a legitimate economy. They want to create a legitimate government that is accepted within the global community, and they want to participate in the global community as equals and peers. The U.S. may not like how the government of Afghanistan looks, but too bad. It's up to the Afghan people to establish the type of government that is suitable for them and their people as a sovereign nation and as a sovereign people. And the U.S. should stay out of it and stop meddling, and let's let the Taliban do their job, and let's keep them at their word that they are moral men and that they will opium trade, which has been the source of great corruption and a real problem here in the U.S. We didn't have an opium problem before the war in Afghanistan. Now we have a severe opium problem. So this is the CIA following the same model that was established back during the Iran-Contra war in El Salvador, how they funded that project. They're using the same business model of selling drugs to our own people here in the U.S. to fund their black programs. Let's hope that the Taliban is truthful, and we can take them at face value that they are going to establish a legitimate, honorable, and inclusive government of all the people of Afghanistan. Threat to the people of the U.S. That was another lie generated to justify the war that certain military-industrial complex industries need to stay in business. That's what this whole thing was about, generating profits for U.S. Defense contractors. That's the issue there. Now, on a separate note, if there's anything that any of us can do, myself in particular, if I could help in any way, help get people out of Afghanistan, U.S. citizens who are marooned there right now, let me know. I will do anything and everything to help anyone get out of the country safely. But I really think that the Taliban has to be given the benefit of the doubt at this time, and has to be given a chance to prove themselves as honorable men.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. Always a pleasure. Mr. Mike Harris there joining us from Phoenix, Arizona.